So now we can start officially. Hi, everyone. I really welcome you today for Neurographica workshop. And I hope you had a moment to prepare atmosphere because we're going to spend today 1 hour. I cannot promise exactly 1 hour because I might get too enthusiastic and then it can be 90 minutes. So I hope you still have time. And if you have a tea, it's very nice to have also some water, so then you can drink during the process. Also, if you have a nice surrounding around you, so you can really enjoy this 1 hour in a creative process. And also, before we start, I'm really wondering, because I know today in the workshop, there should be people from Germany, Belgium, and Netherlands. So if you can just let me know from which country you're watching and maybe your city, so then I can know who is here today.
Okay, I am from Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Yes,
Beautiful. Welcome.
thank you for hosting this.
You can send me. Okay, now I see the messages are coming. Okay, Carla asked me a question about the replay. Yes, I just press a recording. So if everything works, then there will be a replay and I will send it to our WhatsApp chat and also email that the one you use for registration. Okay, Netherlands. Mark, is it your father, guys? Is it family coming to workshop? It's so nice.
It's my uncle.
Your uncle, wow, very cool. Hello from Germany, Netherlands, Drenthe, Suhasini, Netherlands. Okay, I'm from Czech, but watching from Spain. Okay, Uda. Oh, Uda, very close. I'm in Wachel. Frankfurt. From Czechia. Oh, Lenka, you made it today. Oh, so far I don't see people from Belgium. How possible? I saw a lot of registrations. Okay, here it is, Brussels. Perfect. Welcome, everyone. So we will slowly start. And how I would like you today to experience the most of these workshops. So what is some maybe recommendations? If you can stay until the end of the workshop, because I prepared for you quite interesting program. And I hope you will find it also valuable. And the best way, if you can watch this workshop on a computer, so then you can put your phone on silent. And we can also see this workshop today as 1 hour to be fully present and make this time only for yourself without distractions, without scrolling and seeing notifications, if it's possible. And also I see maybe this one I don't even need to mention because you're already active and you share messages, but it also would be very nice if you share your insights. Because last year I've done workshops mainly in offline in Netherlands in Wechel. So I'm very used to see people, to see their body language. And so today would be nice also to hear your insights. Wow. And now you might hear my door, but what happened amazingly yesterday, I was recording one more video for the course and I was sending the links for very good materials. And then I saw that there is a discount for the best brand, I think, for highlighters. And guess what happened? They just received it. So my partner just brought. So today we're going to also check them out because I've just received them. So that's a very nice gift before we start our workshop. And also, please be respectful toward everyone in the chat, because I believe that once we have a safe atmosphere, it can help us to really enjoy and go through the process. And then it can help you to get a lot of insights also in the workshop. What is in our program? So today you will discover first how we can return ourselves to a calm and balanced state. And the most important was using creativity. I will share, and I hope for you it will be first time exploring Neurographica, and I hope to make this first time really magnificent, let's say. And also how to improve quality of life in different areas, because I think if we go a little bit deeper, we will see that we lose the state of calmness, we lose the state of balance once something is happening in one area of our life. Sometimes we're more focused on our work and there is happening an anxiety or a lot of things happening, or sometimes with kids, with family. Sometimes it's your financial situation. So it can be different situations. So that's why we're gonna see as a whole picture. And that's also reason why I like Neurographica. It helps us to not just only work on the symptom to help just to feel calm, for example, one evening, but we really use creativity to work on a deeper level. So then we bring more clarity and we bring more peace and contentment to our life. And also we're using colors. So how to bring more color and energy into your life again using. So, and I hope during the drawing, you will experience this already because we have few steps and usually on the step number 5, you can feel really a boost of energy. And speaking about drawing, today we are going to do algorithm for restoring calmness and inner balance. You will also receive the best special offer if you would like to learn Neurographica, so you will see how you can learn it and how you can use it and what purposes. And also during the workshop, if you will have any questions, just send a message in the chat and then I will always come back to it and reply to it. And today I was thinking, maybe we should add a gift for people who is going to stay today till the end. And I thought if we talk today about calmness, let's finish today with a deep relaxation practice. So if you stay by the end, we're going to do a short 10 minutes deep relaxation. It's going to be a shortened yoga nidra practice. Maybe you experienced it before. I really like it because they also call it yogic sleep. So we of course, we're not going today to do it in laying positions, but adjusted practice for a deep relaxation. And I hope you prepared materials. I saw already Ilona tagged me on Instagram and I saw she prepared required materials. So what we need, the most important one is a black marker. Send me the plus in the chat if everyone has a black marker. It can be 1 millimeter tip or thicker. Also, we're gonna need just white A4 paper sheets. We're gonna need highlighters and colored pencils. And we're going to start drawing in maybe 10-15 minutes, so you will still have time to prepare. But looking how early you joined and how responsibly you're reacting to me, so I think everyone is prepared. But again, if there will be any question, let me know. And just few words about me, because I see some familiar faces and it really makes me feel glad right now. I also feel more maybe more confident when I see familiar faces. They know me. For those who see me first time, maybe second time, first time was in advertising that you saw on the website. My name is Natalia, and you can call me maybe boring person, because once I found Neurographica, I found art therapy in 2018, I realized that my life has two passions. It's Ashtanga yoga and art therapy. And since then, I've been doing only that. So it's a very one-pointed, and of course it developed that now, for example, with Ashtanga yoga, we have a yoga studio in the Netherlands. So if you live here, you're always welcome to join us. And also I do their Neurographica workshops. And I think I also can call myself a very lucky person, because with two passions of my life, Ashtanga yoga and Neurographica, I was able to study it with the source. And if you see Christina here, we met actually in India when we were studying together with Sharat Joyce. He is a grandson of the founder of Ashtanga Yoga. This is what we are teaching in Vechel. And for Neurographica, I'm lucky to speak the language, to study directly with the founder of the method, who authorized me basically to share the knowledge further. And also, if we look at the numbers, last year I started doing workshops, and I think I went very enthusiastic. I've done more than 20 workshops, I think precisely 23, mainly in Vechel. We also went to Nijmegen. We did some collaborations with companies, because I'm so driven to spread the method. And if you ask me how did I come up to this idea to spread Neurographica, last year I very suddenly lost my mom. And through this process, I was just doing Neurographica basically every day. And I saw how much it helps to go through very deep pain. Maybe if someone also experienced loss of someone who you love, someone close to you, you will know this emptiness and a lot of sharp pain. And then I saw how I can go through that and really transform it to love, and every time be able to live through that. So then I saw also my partner is Dutch, and I'm very close to his family, and I see that it's such a good fit into the culture, because on one hand it has a structure, and on another side it helps us to go to deeper levels of us, of our intuition, and to really make ourselves empty. And when I call it empty, it means that we transform all the pain, all the situations that happened to us and they left negative mark on us into the light, into love. So this is my main mission, what I tried to do. And also I wanted to share with you some experiences from people who joined workshop, because sometimes when we start doing something new, we can call it also the process when we can get a lot of worries, like, is it sure that I can do this? Is it for me? So that's why I wanted to share from exactly how people were saying. And the most important that today, if you're going to experience Neurographica for the first time, you will see that it's simple. And I hope you're also going to experience that it's wonderful too to do. And also, if you never have experience with drawing, then welcome to the club, because when I started, really, I will show you, if you would like to see my first drawing, and really no talent, no skill. I never learned how to draw, because here it's still a more psychology-based drawing method, and it still gives you insights, and it's very calming. So if you're afraid that your drawing will not look nice, it's not the purpose of it. The main purpose is that you feel the transformation that is happening inside you. And then also in Ashtanga Yoga, actually our company is called Take Practice, because in Ashtanga Yoga was one of the most, I think, famous phrases that take practice and everything is coming. So first we start, you follow your interest, we take practice, and then you can see the change also in your drawings if you would like to continue with that. And also it's the method that helps you to get out of your head and let the creativity flow again. And because it helps you to connect with your inner world. And I think it's very precious in the times when we are living with a lot of information, a lot of things happening, a lot of social media. So it is the method to do that. And if you ask me what is the most common feedback that I hear, it's about insights. And today I was even thinking that if someone would pay me 50 cents every time I hear about insights, that they got insights during Neurographica session, I would be already able to buy a house in Netherlands, which is a lot of money. Because this, I think it's one of the side effects once you do, because our mind sees drawing simple lines, something that we just do for fun, just to relax. It's very easy, it's simple. But on another hand, it helps us to really use the visual side to understand what is going inside me and how I can transform it and where it is connected to, and what basically it's telling me to. And that was partially about the method, about me. And now I would like to hear a little bit from your side, because you sign up for workshop for Calmness. So if you can rate scale from 1 to 10, when 10 is your master of relaxation, it means that it's so easy for you to take rest when you need it. You don't feel guilty for taking rest. You can just simply know when you're tired, you can know your way to relax, and you can fully switch off from stress. And the 1, it's basically, yeah, we just go on and never stopping. So if you can send me the number to the chat, it can also help me to understand the situation and where I should focus today, to know the average, what is happening. I like today how chat works. First I see 0 messages, and then suddenly 17. Okay. 7, 7.5, 8, 5, 6, 5. Okay. Celia, 10. Amazing. 4, 7. Okay. 5, 7. Okay. Between 4 and 7. And did you manage to maybe observe what is the main obstacle to truly relax and switch off? Is it maybe some thought, feeling, emotional state? What it is? Mhm. I'm gonna read the messages so for people who are gonna watch in replay, so they know what was going on. Busy in the head, overthinking, overanalyzing. It's too nice to work. Yes. Oh, this one I can totally understand. Yes. The thought not being productive. Oh, also yes. They need to. The head is too busy. The mind is working very fast. Yes. So very recognizable worries. Feeling of needing to do something. We're thinking, conditioning about resting. Oh yeah, conditioning. Yes. Always busy in my head. Mind is never resting. Being on automatic pilot, not being aware to need to pause. Okay, also very good observation. Busy in the head. Yeah. And also today, because I'm doing it in English, because my Dutch is still in process. But in case you feel that you don't fully maybe know some words, you can text it also in Dutch. Okay, so don't worry that you need to think a lot or you miss some word. Okay, good. And then also one more question. So we do the same scale, but if we have look on our energy level and basically how do you feel emotionally fulfilled? And again, from 1 to 10, 10 is when you feel that you have enough energy for all your goals, for all your purposes. You can, you know how to spread it, and you feel, of course, emotionally fulfilled, contentment. You feel happy, feel joy. Oh, is this one? Mhm. Yes. And also with this one, did you manage to observe here what usually takes your energy the most? Or maybe just something that happened that comes first to your mind? Uncertainty, yes, can imagine. Stress and worries. And stress and worries, if we look a little bit, what is under worries, yes. At this moment, I want to start drawing. We're almost there. We just need to make things, let's say, put them on the surface. So then once you start drawing, you know exactly, okay, where do I need to head and where this drawing should be going. Not knowing the outcome of my efforts. Oh, yes. I think uncertainty is a very difficult to handle actually for our mind, for our ego, very difficult. And also not knowing the outcome. So basically it's again, uncertainty, stress, doing a lot of things, stress in business. Oh yes, very recognizable. Overprickled, yes. No control, perfectionism, thinking in circles, yes. Different reading. Oh, different reasons. Worry about finance, pressure, yes, impatience. Yes. And then, so you can see that we are already slightly touched the area, how it is connected, right? That we cannot relax, we cannot slow down because mind is going because there is something going on. And then if you can just choose the area because some of you already put, for example, that is finance. For some of you, maybe if perfectionism, what is there? Is it self-confidence, or is it more about work, about creativity? You can use the options that I mentioned here, or also just write down yours. So for example, let's choose it also for today, what you feel it's the most actual one for you. Creativity. And I'm very curious, Yamit, you already work in a creativity, or is it just maybe a creativity in ideas, maybe in your business, or if you can share a little bit more. I'm very curious. Health and emotional balance. And also it's a very nice observation, right? That they come together, right? Health and emotional balance. Creativity, also emotional balance, health, relationships. In ideas. Okay. So it's very valuable. Thank you, everyone who shared. How to be able to improvise more. Yes, very nice. So by doing this, I really hope that once we start drawing, we're going to start drawing, I think, in 5 minutes already. But we need to understand what we are working with, where we feel unsatisfaction, what we want to change. Because if we look at Neurographica, I briefly would like to share the experience about slowing down, because I always felt that I was dragged into creativity, and I really needed that. I need to go out from my anxiety, because I'm a very sensitive person. So it's so easy to get connected to the feelings of others. Or someone mentions, I think it was Marisha mentioning that you're over prickles, so you have so many things happening, and then I feel that my focus and my energy is just getting into thousands pieces, and then very difficult to stay centered. So then I was trying to do different types, and also I would like to hear your experience, what you try to do to help yourself. And the first one, what I tried to do oil painting. I was doing the course, but then I realized that actually when the course was finished, it's so difficult to continue at home, because I felt like it's so much effort. I need to buy oil, and then I need to be careful. And then still I felt like I need so much time, because I need to sit, I need to learn, because it's very new and it's not so easy for me to work with oils. Then I felt, okay, I can do maybe Zentangle. If someone heard about this, if you can buy some very nice books to doing that. But as you can see, I did only one page, because my mind told me that it's a waste of time. And yes, I felt calm for minutes when I was doing this, but then everything come back after I stopped doing this, because I just really felt even worse, because I felt like, wow, I'm losing time on something and I don't see the purpose of it. So then I realized that my mind is very practical. So if there is someone who like me, also let me know, because we need to learn the ways how we can also deal with our mind, how we can really get along and find a way that we stop fighting and we try to be friends and learn how we can cooperate. And then I switched to art therapy. I bought such a small notebook. I bought it in India, and then it was easy because I had it always with me. And then every day I was just using pencils just to put my emotional state. And for a moment it worked, because then it helped me to become aware of what's going inside me. But I didn't have enough structure to go through and transform something. So if I knew that, okay, today I experienced a lot of anger, or the anxiety came, okay, I express this on paper, I feel a relief, but it doesn't mean that something changed inside me. And then also I was trying to paint mandalas. And then every time I felt that, okay, I feel good in the moment, sometimes even though it's difficult to convince myself to find time for that. So also let me know if you have similar, that it's like, no, it's difficult to find time because we have more important stuff to do. But the moment I discovered Neurographica, this really changed, because in Neurographica, we work with a few levels. And actually, I would like to change now my camera to show you one pyramid very quickly, because then it will give you a little bit of overview And if some of you already work with unconscious, let me quickly change my camera. Like that. I think you can see it, right? I will stop sharing my presentation. And I will make it, how can I? Pin, yes, like that. So this is, we can call it a pyramid of consciousness. Here I made already drawings because I recorded videos about that. But so why neurographical works so deeply and it gives us so much effect, and I hope you can experience it today, because it goes through the whole level of pyramid of consciousness. Because if we have a look at the bottom, we can see that this is consciousness. And if we look, this is what's happening to us right now. This is what we're experiencing, right? So you are watching my video, you're listening to my voice, you're maybe seeing other people or hearing your family doing something at house. So basically, this is our actual consciousness, what is happening to us right now. So our ego observing, just do it out so you can see it better. And for example, once I was doing Zentangle or any other creative or just drawing or oiling with oils, then I know that I stay with my mind usually here on actual one. And sometimes maybe some operative. So what is operative? Operative, it's, for example, you always remember what is 5 by 5, or you remember your address. You don't need to keep your mind all the time repeating what my address is. No, usually it's always here. But then we also have the level of our individual unconscious. And here we can split it into two parts. Something that is our imprints since our birth, and also something that we got from our genes. So something, for example, from generations to generations, or if you believe the theory in your past lives, it can also be here. So something on our individual level that it's still affecting us. So for example, if you study family system, sometimes you can see that there is a very common thing that we are not good enough, for example, or in some families, shame is really forbid to express, or anger is forbid to express, or in some families there are no emotions allowed. So there are a lot of things that we also, let's say, get from our generations, and they're still influencing us. And then if we look deeper, especially if you ever studied or heard of Carl Jung, philosophy and his input to psychology, he told us that we also have collective unconsciousness. So if you understand, give me pluses, please, because I didn't plan today to give you this, but I feel the group today is advanced. So I think you might be very interested in this, what we are doing. Yeah, okay, plus. So then we also have collective unconscious. And then here, for example, we have egregors. So for example, this is our nationality, or even neurographica, or once we do Ashtanga yoga. So these are big energy groups where we belong, and they still have a control. Because, for example, if I belong to a group of yoga people, then there are certain stereotypes, there are certain patterns that are happening to this group, or to nationalities, for example, there are certain stereotypes that's happening. And also archetypes. Maybe you heard of it, for example, archetype of mother. So it's something that is known everywhere, and we can always connect to them. Because, for example, if you mention today finance, using in Neurographica, we can learn how to use it in our drawing, so we can connect to the archetype, for example, to a successful businesswoman, because there are already a lot of examples of people who succeeded in their business. So by knowing this, we can help ourselves visually to connect also to collective unconsciousness, because the level of energy here is much bigger than we have here in our actual consciousness, in our mind. I see pluses, but if you would have questions, please let me know, because it is what I usually give on the course, but I want to share with you. And then also we have the level of absolute. And again, if we go to psychology models, we will see that what Freud started, what Jung continued, that there was, Jung tried to connect absolute power, we can call it also God or universe or infinity, it depends how you call it, But in Neurographica model of consciousness, we also work with the level of absolute, because the purpose of Neurographica, we can see it as a spiritual practice that helps us using the drawing method to really transform all of this. If we have any negativity, any pain, any negative effects, any dualities where we still suffer, it helps us to go straight to absolute. So then we can receive the energy and we remove the obstacles that we have on the path. And then again, it's very connected also to Jung philosophy, when he said that our mission on this life is basically individuation. Individuation is when we connect our ego to our true self, to our higher self. So if we imagine this, this is what we are doing in Neurographica. So for example, if today you choose topic finance, by doing the drawing, we really go, okay, to this level to see what do I see, what do I already realize, for example, about finance or about my health. But then we also go, okay, what was happening to us? What kind of experience I already have? And now I will go back to my presentation because there then I think it will be easier to understand what I meant with that. So just give me a second, put it back. I like it when you're a creative person and then what you prepared for presentation, you just change it on on the way. Yes, so we stop on this slide. And on this slide, now you can see that basically through life, we accumulate experience, our personal experience, our parents' experience, also our social circle experience, because it's recently I observed that people I was talking to, it was very common that there is a point in life where you feel that what you were doing before, it stopped giving you meaning. So it can be about job, for example, right? You just don't feel any interest. You just feel like you would like to change your job, but then this pressure of social experience happens because no, there are certain ways how people your social circle, maybe it is, say, how it has to be. And then also we have experience of previous generations, what was happening. And then again, we can have a look from different generations. For example, if we take again Czech Republic also, right, what happened in 68, it also has impact on the generations and then how maybe they were raising kids or people who were born in the wartime. And then again, so we can really see what is happening and how it is influencing us. And then you will ask me, okay, Natalia, it's all nice. Why do we need to know it now? Because if you can see Neurographica, it has two parts, neuro and graphica. And neuro, it is of course connected to our neuron connections. And it is already proven scientifically that we can form a new neural connections. And we use Neurographica to form that doing on the paper, so then we achieve the results that we desire. Because even though we have this experience, even though it sits with us, it doesn't mean that we cannot change that. Does it take effort? Yes. But can we do that? Yes, we still can. And if we just go again a little bit deeper to look, we can see that Neurographica is a scientific method, yet it combines creativity, but it has a psychology. We just discovered how was it connected to Carl Jung, especially his way of seeing how our psyche works. Also philosophy, because it talks a lot about what makes us happy. And if you join the course, you will see that we have a special algorithm which is called a well-being framework. It's really based on philosophy, how and sociology, how we study what makes us actually feel happy in life and how we can again do it visually so we can have it in life. And neurophysiology, again, if you look at the drawing, we exactly creating neurons on our drawing. And last one, and then we are going to experience it on the drawing. Because if we look at Neurographica drawings, we can see that basically it just represents nature. This is how Neurographica was invented. It is the main principle of Neurographica that world consists of lines and shapes. And maybe you will also become a little bit crazy like me, that once you start walking and you look at the trees or waves or even the clouds, you will see that the lines, they are exactly what we are trying to do in Neurographica. So at this moment, please let me know, do you have any questions? And maybe give me one in case you never heard of Neurographica and now you have image what it is, what kind of method is that, and give me two if you still feel like, yeah, not really sure. And then we are going to start our drawing. One, okay, very good. Because I know some people already did it. Dice did it. Okay, okay, very good. So then we can going to do the drawing. Just prepare your materials. I'm gonna change my camera again. Yes, perfect. So put here. So in case you bought the same paper what I have, aquarelle paper, we're gonna use the flat surface, okay? It's the best way when there is nothing, flat surface. And on the surface was a little bit of waves, let's call it, we're gonna use for writing. And in your graphic, I remember today we had 3 questions. We did this 3 questions, so then you know how to do step number 1. We always start with a topic, because we need to give our mind a very specific point where to look at. So, and our topic, it's always in one word. So you can also text me in the chat, so then I know that you chose one. It can be calmness. It can be, for example, if you say that I would like to explore health today or finance, you can just write it down. And of course, you can write it down in your own language. And today I'm gonna experience also, yeah, I will go with calmness. And then please write it down in the big letters on your paper. So then you really can visually see that, okay, this is my topic. My topic. Yes. And then also I will ask you throughout our whole drawing practice, observe what is happening to you, because the magic of Neurographica, it happens when we manage to see the image or the vision. I will explain it now. Vision, feelings, our thoughts, and our body sensations. So these 4 points of attention, they really, like at this moment, they will help us to really get some result in the topic that we chose. And if we look at the long term, for example, if you're also sensitive and sometimes you feel that you're overthinking, overanalyzing, it will help us to combine and to be able to become like observer, not someone who is into the feeling, but someone who can able to see the feeling, feel it, but not to be drawn into that. But these are long-term effects. So once you wrote down your topic, you can also maybe write it down also here for yourself. How do we check vision? If you close your eyes and allow yourself just see any image, maybe color, maybe some sign, whatever, let it be really freely what comes to your mind. What is a symbol or color or image of your topic right now? Yeah, and sometimes for some people, it's even so good with their visions that they don't need to close their eyes. I still need. And now I saw, I don't even know how to explain, something like a vase. And for now, I don't know what it means. I just know it is there. And then what kind of feeling? I'm very curious about that. And then what kind of thoughts I have. It gives me a thought about energy, that we can say that, okay, how full is that? Or are there any holes in that to explore my also energy? And then I can look at my body. I feel a little bit tension in my belly. And every time I can sense the tension in my belly, we can always bring attention there, take a deep breath, drink some water, and try to bring the relaxation, and also try to see, okay, how it is connected to calmness. Because for now, for me, for example, the main idea is that, of course, I feel tension because I forgot about my body when I was talking. I was so enthusiastic. So then simply I'm out of focus of my body. So please also follow these 4 steps every time, and you will see how much information it can helps us to get, because otherwise we cannot reach the deeper levels today. Okay. After we've done this, I'm going to put 2-minute timer, and I'm going to explain what we are going to do. So this moment, I will ask you to write down absolutely everything that will come to your mind. So try not to analyze what it is about, but really write down freely what comes to you. And we can start already now, and just write down anywhere on the paper anything that comes to your mind without analyzing verbs, sentences, questions. Sometimes your words, they can be repeated. It's also fine. So write down everything. And just finish writing your last word. And now I invite you to count how many words have you written this moment. And then please share with me in the chat. 23. Usually we call this exercise 20 words in 2 minutes. Why is it like that? So we can activate all the neuron connections that are connected to this calmness. Free associations. Amazing. Amazing. So if you had 13, 12, it's very good. For if you did it first time, it's very good. If you had 8, you will see that next time you're going to do it, you can allow your hand to really write in going into more. 27. Very good. And then you can also see the more activation you've done, or sometimes you have a topic that is relevant for you, you can go really 27, 30, 40. You can see that it can really bring you a lot. So every time we learn how to activate, so we can see, okay, what is behind. And then just let's have a quick look at this, because maybe it also happened to you that you have some negative words. And we shouldn't be afraid of that. It's really good, because then we can see everything about our topic. Yeah, if you have full sentences, 37, very good, yes. So then we can explore, for example, in my topic, calmness, then I can see that tension, stress, and time and worry, they are basically taking away my calmness. But the rest, what I was doing, they are giving me the calmness. So by doing this, we can always see, okay, what is inside us, and we should never be afraid of negative ones. Maybe I can take a new one. And then what we're going to do next with this one is the best if you can keep in front of you so you can see all our practice, keeping in mind 4 points of attention and also your topic and what was here. And now I will ask you to take your black marker and we are going to create neurographical lines on our drawing. We'll first show you this. So this is the main difference and the biggest tool of Neurographica is Neurographica line. It has 2 rules. One is that it doesn't repeat itself on the path where it's going. And also we lead it somewhere where we don't expect it to see. So if you see that if I split it now, it doesn't repeat itself on each path. And also every time I lead it and I want to go to the bottom, I move it to the right, I move it to the left. So somewhere different. So it's a little bit resistance every time we are doing this. And I will invite you to do that on our paper. And you can add 5 or 7 of them. So then you can create a composition already out from that. And then you can do, for example, from one side. And also you can see that these lines, they repeat clouds. So we try to make them not straight, but really imagine how the waves looking like. And we're trying to do it in the same way. And then again, thicker marker you have, sometimes it's more difficult to make it fully wavy, because then it still happens that it's a little bit sharp. But if you add just 5 lines on your drawing, for now it will be more than enough. And the lines, they can cross each other, of course. And with every crossing, we are going to round them. Maybe you added 4 lines and you feel that your drawing is full already, you can also stop, because for now I feel I have enough. Yeah. And then again, come back to 4 points of attention and just observe what has changed in your body, what has changed in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your vision. For example, then we can observe if in the beginning I had this vision of my topic, but now I can see it standing next to a spring. So I can see water next to it. So it's like a vessel next to water. And then again, I ask myself, okay, but what can represent it to me in my topic? Is everyone finished? I think see people already looking to the camera. So then what we can see right now, imagine that we are looking from above, and if they are rivers, so we can see that they are crossing and they are creating some energy centers at the moments where they are crossing. So to this moment, we're gonna add circles, because the circles is the shape of harmony. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna connect it to the topic. So basically, this is something that can help me to achieve this in my life, to have this in my life. So again, I will work with my topic, for example, calmness. And I know that the most important for me, what I need to learn is to learn how to be centered. And exactly, I'm looking here, it's more or less the center. So I know that for me, it's something very important. So I can add quite a big circle, because by doing such a big size, I am showing that for me, for my topic, This is really important. And then I can also write it down here, what it represents to me, so then I remember. Being centered. Yes, and the circles, they can be anywhere, but we locate them on the crossings. So where you can see that your lines, sometimes it can even be more visual. For example, here we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, they are crossing. So I know here I can also locate something because it has energy in it. And then we add as many circles as you feel that it's needed for your topic for today. Yeah, because for example, again, if I look, I see that this part is again dragging my attention. So I know that, okay, my second circle is something is here, but for now, I don't know what it is. And then I can say myself, okay, I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to add second circle here. But for now, I have no idea what it represents to me. It's also possible if you don't know. You can do that. You add your first and biggest circle that can represent the most important topic. I did it just because of my relationship with my topic. So if you see that you don't have something very big, but for example, they're all equally the same for you, so then you add maybe same size or maybe something is smaller. So in this moment, we should really just trust how we see our lines, the crossings, and where we want to add the line. Can you make a circle over multiple crossings? Yes, 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 yes. It's the best. When you have multiple crossings, this is the most powerful part. So there we add the circle. And then again, after I added this one, I scan my drawing. Do I want to have one more? And then I really, again, my attention is dragged to this part because I see a lot of crossings here that is basically connecting two shapes. So then I feel like, yes, I also need my circle here. And then I pay attention to my body and I feel that, yes, this is something that was needed because my body reacts to it. I feel better straight away. I feel like body saying yes, 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 yes. And after I add it, again, I ask myself, do I know what is this circle about? And then here it can be already easier because I know it is really crossing my circle of being centered. So what it is here, and here what comes to my mind is somehow discipline. And now at this moment, I can connect it to my vision that I had. I will share my reflection now, so then you might use it as example. How do we keep asking ourselves what is happening? Because after I wrote discipline, I realized that, of course, if I'm standing, if my vessel is next to the water, so I have already resources, but I need to be disciplined to come every time and get water. And then I can also observe my feelings, what is happening. I feel some resistance now inside me. I was like, okay, I noted it. I don't know what it is about yet, but I noted. So try just to watch everything that is happening to you. And then again, scanning. Do I need more? And then, yes, I feel like there should be one little one here. And because this one is somehow a little one and word that came to me, cute. So then I know that this one is about softness because I know how to be hard for myself very easily, how to demand. This I know, but softness, okay, very important. So then we can see that I have named 3 of them. This one for me, it's still kind of surprise. I still don't know. But for now, I feel this is enough for me. And also people, I remember, I think Carla mentioned that she needs to leave earlier. Would be nice if we finish this step that I'm going to explain, and then you can finish workshop because it's important to keep Neurographica safe. What we need to do, every intersection, every sharpness that you see that it is now on our drawing, we need to make everything round. And also we can call it, because somewhere I still see very straight lines. And in your graphical, we try to really make everything connected to nature. So I imagine the same pattern of waves of the clouds. I try to bring it, so then immediately it can look like that. And then I start rounding, and first I start rounding inside my circles. Okay, so how do I do rounding? You see here, we have, let's say, a little triangle inside. So I put like a smile. And again, you see that I'm using very thick markers, so that's why it becomes, yeah, it's easier to round a little bit with such a thick one, because I can just do one time and it is ready. So we really, at this moment, we start rounding our task here to not stop with our drawing until we round everything. And by doing this, we are working on the level when we can see what is the resistance. We can also call it level of inner conflicts, because sometimes we say that, yes, I want to have this, but it can also be that inside one side of us is fighting against that. And observe what's happening again inside you after you start rounding, because this level, this is what can bring us the most of resistance, that you can feel bored, you can feel like, okay, I need to switch, I need to do something suddenly. So at this level, or sometimes it can give you a big sensation, nice sensation of relaxation. Share also with me, how are you, where are you, which step is it, how it is going. What if I feel that my circle would be visible only partially on the paper, the rest would go beyond it? Beautiful question, because sometimes it can happen that you feel that the size of your circle is so big that you cannot fully put it on the drawing. But again, we use how our mind works. And even if you put partially your circle, your mind will automatically draw the rest in the mind. So in your mind, it will be full circle. So that's why you can go ahead and add it there. I have a lot of sharp corners. Yeah, that's a lot of work to do, but also it is nice then to observe what's happening, really what's happening after this sharpness is going away. Still making lines, not sure where to make circles. Can you repeat the 2 rules, please? Oh yeah, so then I will start with 2 rules. So neurographical line, once we lead it, we try to lead it. For example, if I start here and I lead it down, and then I feel like, okay, I want to go more down, then I can take it to the opposite direction, for example, to the right. So we try to lead it where we don't expect it to see. And the second rule, that we lead it and we try to make sure that our line doesn't repeat itself on each path of its journey. So imagine if, again, like for example, this was the line, I guess. So if I split it, then I see that it doesn't repeat itself. And sometimes it can happen, of course. For example, here, if you can see, this is exactly pattern repeated, right? It's exactly the same. So then I can ask myself, okay, in connection to softness, there is something automatic that it repeated itself. What it is in my topic, what it is about softness, what do I do there repeatedly, and does it serve me or not? Do I want to keep it this pattern, or I want to change that. And then after you added lines, you check where they cross the most and try to see them as energy center, because once there is a lot of crossing, a lot of lines together, they create more energy. And on these areas, we place our circles. And by your feeling, you decide how big they will be. What if the lines meet, but in wide angles? Do you still fill them in? Not sure I understand the question. If line and so if there is still a crossing in a wide angle and you can see that there is a sharp, for example, like here or here, we need to still round it everywhere. So basically every crossing creates a sharpness. And we try to make everything round. And if you need to leave workshop, please finish the rounding and then we can continue to the next step. Because by doing this, we activated our neuron path and we need to finish rounding to keep it safe for us. So then you don't feel any tension. By finishing this step, usually you should feel more calm, more relaxed. Laura, please let me know if I answered your question, if it's more clear right now. So when two lines cross, there will be 4 angles created. Oh, yes. A good question. Yes. So, for example, if happened like this, so what we are trying to do, first we are trying to make the line more neurographic, and we are making the rounding in this way. Actually, a very good question how we do it. Because by doing this, we avoid, because sometimes if we want to do it fast, we can do it, for example, like that. And then we can see that we are still working with the energy, because every line has the energy, every crossing has even more energy. And if we do it like that, you can see that it's not integrated. So it means that nothing flows for that, nothing is integrated. So that's why what we try to do, we try to really bring it a little bit further to make sure that it's like exactly like river. Like imagine if water would be running, we need to make sure that it's all well connected. Okay. And that it's all rounded. You know, same when it's crossing like that. And it's also good to experiment with the thick marker, because then what we are doing, we create really strong connections, which means we are building new neuron connections in our mind, in our brain, like that. Because with the thin marker, it looks a little bit different. Okay. And in this moment, if you feel you're going already to some meditative state, try to still stay focused on what's happening inside you. Observe your thoughts, your feelings. because sometimes memory might come, sometimes you might feel irritation, sometimes you feel like I don't like it, and then we try to connect it to our topic again. If it's something might be valuable. So we use the drawing, the visual side, just to help us to get deeper to something what is still blocking us from inside. It also helps if you put attention to your breath, making your exhales a little bit longer. I just remember how I printed out my business cards. I needed to have the corners rounded, otherwise I couldn't look at them. Yes, that's actually a very good example, Lenka, because it's how our senses they work. Every time we see a sharp object, we immediately feel tension. Like it's the same like when we see a knife, I don't know, sword. Um, it automatically triggers the reaction inside us. So by doing the rounding, we are bringing it into harmony. So for example, if we work with some topics, for example, on the course, we're going to learn how to work with some negative emotional states, fear, maybe guilt, shame. And then we know, okay, I need to bring comfort into that, because shame, once we are in it, it's such a poisonous feeling, because we can feel that it's really burning us inside. And then rounding really helps. Now you see this, my business cards around. Yeah. And it's actually also interesting because on this level, remember on the pyramid, we checked the archetypes, because circle is also archetype that represents basically our mom's breast. It represents a moon or sun. It represents the wholeness. So we are automatically dragged into it for harmony. And again, bring attention to your feelings, what has changed. Maybe close your eyes for a while to see if vision has changed. Maybe some new color came. And we trace over the same line and angle multiple times. Yes, sometimes we go a few times over it if you need. For example, just here, I had a lot of lines. So what I just did, I went a few times with my marker. I just made very thick connection. because I didn't want to have very little ones. So yes, we can. Or sometimes, for example, if you say that, for example, this line now visually, it's much thinner than this one. So it still look that it doesn't belong to it. So that's why I will go a few times to make it thick enough. So then it looks like it's flowing and it is connected. Okay. Are we almost ready to go to the next step? How is it rounding looking like? Please tell me. Yeah. I will start explaining the next step and you can listen and finish the rounding, what we are doing. So by doing this, we already continued to the step number 3, and now it will be step number 4. And step number 4, it's basically when we are moving to another level. Because if we look now at our drawing, it simply represents only us right now. So because if you look at this drawing, you will know that it doesn't belong to you. It has only to do with me, right? My meanings, my topic, about my experience with calmness. But we are never isolated. So for my calmness, for my softness, for my discipline and my that I'm being centered, I'm still being influenced by others because we live in the society. So in Neurographica, we also work on that level. And so what we try to do, we're using the lines to make the integration between us and the rest. So then we remove this isolation that I'm being apart, and we try to connect with the rest, and then we play with the line in this way. So imagine that this all represents me. So then, for example, if I will say that in my topic I want more to have that people, let's say people come to me, then I do the line from the background to me. If I say that, for example, for me to be calm, to have more calmness, I need it to be from me to the rest. I bring the line there, and then we can play with that. And also the most important, that we should watch what is happening to us. The moment I add the line to the world, let's say to people, how do I feel, how my line look like? And the moment it comes from the rest, comes to me. So this is the step where we're adding lines, and we're adding just so many lines that you feel that you have enough to connect it to the background. And then again, everything what we added, we need to round. And once you start adding these new lines, try to again see what is happening to your vision. How does vision of your topic has changed? And what are in your feelings? How your body reacts? And also, if any moment you would feel there is a tension, it's very good to place your feet to the ground, take a deep breath, feel the grounding, and then continuing again. So every time we are helping our body to release the tension. to help ourselves to understand our body more, what kind of signals it gives to us, what it can represent. I'm not sure if I got the step right. So line from the inside to the circle, what I need to receive from the world, line from the circle outside, what I could offer to the world. We can see it in this way. For example, if in your topic it is about something to receive and to offer, but if we are speaking generally on this moment, we are just connecting to the rest. And if we are going back to the pyramid, so basically it's the level of egregors. So basically we are connecting to the rest, to the system, to people, and then you can just see the how interaction is going from you to them, and from, let's say, people, systems, communities coming to you. So I think the easiest way maybe it was that if you work with business, with work, you need clients, for example. I think it's very simple to see it. Then we know that, okay, if I would like clients to come to me, then I'm adding more lines to my shapes, right? Because I'm allowing that people, they they just know about me and they want to work with me and they come. If I know, for example, that I struggle to go and be visible, for example, or speak up or tell what I'm doing, then I do the line to the world, so then I can be more visible, that I can be more open to people. And then also you would observe, if you do it more often with Neurographica, you will see which step gives you the most struggle. Because for me, that was for a long time, it was a very difficult step. Like every time I felt like, okay, I've added enough lines, but every time still after a while, I look at my drawing and I still see that I didn't connect myself well enough, that there is still not enough, because the fear of being not part of it, and fear to be visible, fear to speak up. And then I saw that, okay, and then we use this topic again to draw. No, I'm really happy you're asking questions, because you're doing it first time. Of course, we need questions. Can I add lines inside the circle? Yes. Do they represent things that I have to give myself? Yes. I don't feel like adding that many lines from outside in or outside out, but I feel a strong pull to add lines in the circle. Yes, and I think it might be connected what I've just mentioned about my own experience with that. But again, just see what is today working for you, because sometimes it can be that our focus, maybe your topic, it's about that more work should be done inside on the level of your own let's say, level of responsibility. It can be. So then we add lines inside the circle, because they know what you can do or what you need to bring to yourself, and etc. And then if you see that, okay, I added lines, then the step for the one that we are doing right now, it's about how I interact with others. And then also, if you observe that, for example, now there is a resistance to add lines on this step, you don't need to force yourself. right? We just simply need to see, okay, what is just happening? And then if you would like, you can always come back to your drawing in 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. Doesn't matter when you come back to it, you can always see, okay, how do I feel now about that? Would I like to add more lines, or it's still fine for me? Just really use it as our mirror from inside, something that we cannot get just with our mind, but we can get with the drawing, then what it is. And also, if someone else has questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Very important, especially if you do it first time. Many things, they need to be repeated few times until we fully understand what is there. And we add lines that move through us. To me, they would represent things that we can change and just need to be accepted. That's a beautiful. So if you are in the process, and then you can see that if you add the line, it will have a certain meaning to you, then please go ahead, especially that you feel that we cannot change and they just need to be accepted. Yes, then we add lines, because we can add as many lines in anywhere here. And also we can see every line as some sort of thought or some sort of meaning. So this is how we can play with that. And then as you can see, so Neurographica gives us the structure, how we are using the line. And after we know it, we can really be free to express what we need to be, or what needs to be expressed. And then also sometimes it helps if you look a little bit from a distance, because now I have advantage because I have camera straight above. So for example, when I'm sitting and drawing, I didn't see that, for example, this space here, I have empty. But now if I look to the screen, then I see, yeah, this one is really empty. Like the circle is not much connected. And then I still wondering, what can it represent to me and why there are not so many connections? So then of course I can add. Today, the first answer was about uncertainty. And I think this circle represents exactly that. To be able to be okay with anything that happens. Yes, so now I know what it is. You can also observe once it happens that you have a very deep exhale. It's also a very good sign that something was released or something was understood. Something was connected. Now I just had it after I realized about this uncertainty. I always see faces. And that's interesting because in this algorithm, actually, it's not that important, maybe, but in different algorithms of neurographica, usually we try not to see any images because once we connect ourselves, for example, that, okay, I see here maybe flower. Once I have it in my mind, I only use my mind and I use only one small amount of possibilities of the solutions that are available to me. So then I really limit myself. So that's why it's really recommended during the drawing, try not to see images, not to look, not to bring abstract into subjects, into images, because then it will help us to really discover the amount of possibilities that they can be behind our mind, beyond our mind, actually. Okay, I wanted to stop, but then again, I see here it's actually, it's a good point here. You can also see if your circles are connected between each other, because I can see that these three, they are really together, and this one is like fourth wheel in the bicycle, a little bit. And then it's interesting. How can I connect softness to what I just said? Because I can do it visually, but it's also nice sometimes to understand, okay, why it is disconnected. And you can also analyze on your drawing how it is. Much better, much better. Okay, last one, and we are going. Usually it's the most favorite process of all participants. We are going to add color to our drawing. Because I will just repeat what happened, right? First three steps we did, we worked only on the personal level, right? So what's happening inside us. Now on the level 4.1, we connected to the rest of the world. So we basically said that I am connected. I am part of this big world. Yes. And 4.2, we are connecting energy of the color. So we're using archetypes because each energy has its, each color has its energy. And once we add it to the drawing, here we have the rule that we try to add color to minimum 2 shapes. Because imagine if I use only one shape with one color, what I'm doing, I'm isolating. And the purpose of this step that we really get as much energy, we connect to such bigger energy levels. And if we use only one shape here, if I do it on the color, I isolate it. So that's why we try to create, we really integrate as many pieces as we can in one color. Okay, and then you can use as many colors as you want. You can use also one color for the whole drawing. And here you can also leave up to 30% white, because once we leave some white on our drawing, we basically letting ourselves to experience something that we cannot predict, something that can happen, like exactly what I had with the circle. Like it let me surprise what it is there. I also have one loose circle not connected to the others. Also not sure what it represents. What would I advise to do? I would advise to connect to your feeling, what it is. Like if you feel that you would like to connect it, and then you can see in which way you would like to connect it. And then after you connect, so you bring the line, see what happens. Sometimes we might not have idea, but our body usually reacts to that. So you will feel it if it's more, let's say, relaxation grounding, which means that yes, something that was needed, or the opposite, that more tension. Should we leave white space? Or we can, but it's not necessary. It is not necessary. I see a lot of people who don't leave any. It's just basically on your preference. So once you add the, you can fully cover it with the color. So it means that in this topic, you would like to get full control as possible, right? Because then you you fulfill it with your own colors and my hair. No. So it is not the rule. It is just so you know that we can leave up to 30%, but which can represent something that can happen, something that out of our imagination. And then you just have a look at your colors. Sometimes, for example, in the topic, I can choose the color that I know that I want association with that on my drawing. Or sometimes what I do, I just have a look at what I have. Well, now actually it's very comfortable to have these ones like that. Very comfortable. And then I see, okay, which one I should start with. And I think this one, purple. And then also don't forget to observe what's happening to you. Once you choose your color, which color is that? And try to write down associations also, 3-5 associations with that. And then once you connect more shapes, don't be afraid to go over the lines, because once we go over the line, it means that we really connected. We really integrate the shapes. And then you just can decide, okay, how much of the shape you want to cover. And also if you also see that your highlight or marker does this, it's okay, because we can always fix it later with pencils. And we use highlighters here because you can see that I added color, but I still see the light, that it didn't create a very dark spot for me. So that's the beauty why we're using highlighters. And if you want, we can also mix the color. Mm. And also see which shape you started with. Okay, I see it's already 8. I hope we have time. I think we're gonna need, still have 3 steps left. Maybe half an hour more. It's just very difficult to stop once we're in the process. And yeah, if we are going back, so which shape did you choose first one to add the color? Because for me, I started again with the one who was, which one was the first one for me, the most important, being centered. And then I come to the second one, which is the discipline. So then again, unconsciously, I see that these are the most important ones in this topic. And once I add color, I can think, okay, how can I make it work in life if I connect it to the purple? And first, what comes to my mind is wisdom, connection. Then every time we try to bring it to real life, how we can use it also. And also, if in this process you feel that you enjoy it, also allow it to express it, maybe with exhale, with some sigh, with something that just really, ah, with drawing, it's we are building a good habit to enjoy things, to expand. Ah, very nice. Makes me smile. And then if I see how what something has changed, I can always go back to reflection. Okay, but what has changed? What made me smile? Hmm. Please also share what do you feel now if something changed inside you during adding color. No, you can change your color to a different one. It's just usually when I start with one color, I see how much I can go with that until the moment I feel, okay, that's now enough of this color. But it also depends on your topic. With some topics, sometimes I feel like, wow, I need to use at least 5 different colors to make it really bright, make it very big impression of the color. Sometimes I go minimalistic. So really allow yourself just only one rule that we are following, that we are not leaving one shape with one color. So we used at least for 2. And then still the purpose of the color is to integrate the drawing. So if you would see that it gonna bring, like you will feel that it splits the drawing, then maybe you want to mix the color, you want to play with that, but you can add as many colors as you want. And as you can see, for example, here I mixed 2 colors and I really like what happened. Somehow it became a little bit alive. So I'm gonna do it also on next shape. Just bring also your focus to your topic. Observe if something has changed in your thoughts, how your body feels about that. I can also share with do we always have to use markers first and pencils? Yes, very good questions. This sequence means something. We're gonna study this a little bit more because it comes from psychology, but just briefly, because you can see that markers, they give us a very bright color, and this bright color gives us impression. And this basically helps us to control the impressions, because besides impressions, this is how we are coloring the situation. Because when something is happening, for example, now I was just adding color here, and basically it's like a fact. I am adding a color, but I felt irritation because I didn't like how they were mixing together. Because something like I feel like it's messy. So then I'm coloring this, and because I'm coloring it, that something is bad is happening to me, then my feeling arises, and then based on my feeling, there are thoughts arising to that. So then my mindset is being formed based on that. So that's why when we add in markers first, we are be able to really work, let's say, consciously with awareness about the impressions. So then we know how we can, let's say, color it in the needed way, what we want to have, very shortly speaking. And please share with me, how is your process going? We're gonna, in 1 minute, we are going to go to the next step. When you're coloring, can you still add lines? I would wait here. Like, it depends. For example, if this was a good example here. You can see that if you look at the drawing here, this one, it looks different color because I mixed them, but looks like it's the only one. So basically they're isolated. So then yes, I am adding a line. I'm splitting it into two parts, so then it becomes two shapes. So in this case, yes, we can add the line, actually even one more, because now it made it not looking good. So in this case, yes, I'm adding, and now suddenly I have three shapes, which looks more integrated. But if you want to add more lines and they don't have a meaning like that, then I would wait, because we will have now one more step where we add the line, and then you can see, okay, where else you would like to add. Okay, Because what is next step? So again, if we briefly go what we've done so far. We worked on the personal level, then we work with the level when we are connecting with the rest, with the world, with the society, and then we work with the energy level. So every color has its own energy, and once we know the associations we have, we can help ourselves to connect to that. And usually this level boosting energy inside us, or just really maybe some emotions coming up. For example, for me it was irritation, but irritation, yeah, it's coming with anger, and anger is a lot of energy. So then I can just really know, okay, how I can put it into right stream, let's say, how I can use it in a good way. And now we are going to go to deeper level, and deeper level is level of absolute. So if we look at the big rivers or to the ocean, so imagine we want to connect to a higher power to get the support in our topic. And then how do we do this? In the drawing, we use the thickest line, and this thickest line of we call it also field line. It goes from one side of the drawing to another. So it can be from left to right, from right to left, from bottom to top. So it doesn't matter which direction, but the most important that it goes through the whole line, for the whole drawing, and is the thickest line. And sometimes you can feel it, that it can start with the lines that you already have, or sometimes we are drawing a new line. For example, now I really feel that it wants to go from here to here, finishes here. And my marker is almost finished, so I'm gonna take another one. I'm going one more time, so I will go a few times to make it the thickest line on my drawing, because you can see I have already very thick parts, so then basically I need to make it as thick as that. Question, I want to put a new circle before coloring. Is it allowed? Of course, if some new meaning was born, for example, and you can see that, yeah, you can add it at this moment. Or for example, you can say how it would feel if I first add filled line, add a support, and then I can add my circle. Which one works better for me? So anytime that you know what is the purpose of what you want to like to do, you know that it will do good things for your topic, of course you should do that. And once we add this line, you can see what I'm doing straight away. I'm integrating, so it means I'm rounding and connecting. And also observe what happens here. And also, if you ask me how many of these field lines I can add, my answer will be, depends how much of support you would like to feel in your topic. Because, for example, sometimes, especially if we are using A5 format, smaller paper than one will be more than enough, for example. When we use A4, you can see how many, because it can be 2, can be 1. The key here is that you know that, wow, I have enough support, especially people who want to, who mentioned about uncertainty and worries and overthinking. Observe what's happening once you're adding field lines. So then how do we check if we added it correctly? If you look at the drawing, you spot it straight away. It is the thickest line on the drawing. And after we added this support, the next step is basically we need to come to some conclusion. We need to make a visual conclusion. And this conclusion, we can call it affixing. So when you choose a shape that you say, okay, this will be my focus. But in this algorithm that what we've done with you, it can be exception that you can say, okay, I can choose maybe 2 or 3 my circles that I want to bring my focus there, because usually with algorithms, we choose just one shape. But in this one, because they might be equally important to you, so then you can, how do we say that? How do we show it visually? We also make it as thick as we have done the field line. For me today, I think it's quite obvious that this big circle will become the focus point for me, the solution, because I know if I have this, the rest follows. But if this one falls away, this will not help me to get there to where I want to get. So how I'm doing this, I'm just going again with my black marker a few times around, making it very visible. Oh, second marker finished. And once you start doing that, observe again what's happening. What's happening, especially to the body. You choose your solution shape. How is your body reacting? How is your vision changing? Of course, after you make your biggest shape the most visible, we also integrate with the rest lines. So we are rounding, making sure that everything looks good. Everything is connected, integrated, showing. So then if you can have a quick look on the screen, I think you can straight away see, okay, what is the key shape on this drawing? So this is what we want to have after we are doing 6 steps. It helps our mind to clearly see what the focus is, what is the decision is, solution is, what is the most important. And after this step, after we say, okay, this is my solution, then we are adding already pencils to make the drawing look nicer, because yeah, we can still see some white spots. And also I see here this circle left empty because I didn't know which color I want to add. So then we can see, okay, which lines maybe we want to add. So usually we use the step number 7, for example, to add more lines, because after I added color, I still see that my level of connecting to the rest, to the society, to people, it's still quite empty. Somehow now I see it. So then on this step, I would add more lines. I would add more color, and sometimes it can take us up to 1 hour. It depends how niches you want to go, how precisely you want to do it, how beautifully you want to make it, because I know some people are very talented and creative, and they can really make shadows, they can make gradients here, it may mix the colors. So here you're really allowed to go into your creative freedom, and I say that this step is going to be your homework, so you can enjoy it in your quiet time and just really go into the process and enjoy it. And there will be step number 8, and this is basically is the same as the step number 1 we did when we wrote down our words. But I say that we're going to do it a little bit later, because we need information to let it a little bit settle inside us. In case you need to leave already now, then you can do it yourself. You just put timer for 2 minutes and you write down everything that will come to your mind. But just remember that we use the same topic. So if you started with topic calmness, then you do step number 8 with the same topic, writing down words, everything that will come about this topic. And these are the 8 steps. Yeah, I have to go now to put my son in bed. Yeah, it was very nice to have you. I will say replay. And yeah, please finish it at home. And I will open actually our WhatsApp chat, so you can send me your drawings there. And you can also let me know if you would like to receive my short feedback, because then I can record audio for you, maybe sharing something, some details or some recommendations if you would like to. And now I think we're gonna just, let's take 10 minutes, maybe 15. I will go back with my face to you. And let me know if there are any questions for now. Okay, that was a pleasure. Okay, I'm very glad to hear that. Oh, I really truly believe we can do it in 1 hour, but yeah, usually with offline workshops, it took us 3.5 hours, but we also had some yoga physical and yoga nidra. But it's really, once we go into the process, it is difficult to stop. But as I promised, I would like to share, if you would like to continue using Neurographica method for yourself, because the course Neurographica basic user, it will allow you to learn how you can use it for any topic that happens in your life with any emotional state, because there will be, I can show you already my, can I do that? To show you my, yes. I just don't know if you're going to see. Yes, this one. So I will show you what is inside the course, and I will show you the study platform. So then you will know, okay, what is actually I can get, because then you can study a little bit more about neurographical line, because you see that this is the key, what helps us to get the result. Because every time, imagine we are going where we don't expect it to see. So it's exactly, if you were writing about uncertainty, if you're writing about worries or overthinking, this is the tool we can use to learn how to deal and build resistance, because then we build trust, and that we know that we are so in connection with ourselves that actually we feel fine. That line can go to left to right, or we can go with the line to the left to the right, but it doesn't affect me. And also how to round lines and work with different line weights, because today what we did, we used only 2 types of the lines. But if you want to make your work, your drawing, to look very alive, let's say in 3D, we are using 3 different line weights, and then you can see, okay, how can I round it so then it's still working, that I still feel the integration process. Do you have overview of the 8 steps? This overview, if you can see here, it's called 1.10, the class. It's a basic algorithm, because then we go into one step and see how it is connected to the pyramid that we had a quick look today. because then you understand, okay, each step, how do I do it? Even how do I work more with my topic? How can I set up the topic that it can work for me? Because imagine we need to choose just one word, and then, okay, which word I should choose? What is the psychology? And also, the most important, I forgot to mention today, once we do some other techniques, we really need to have something that helps us to see, but how do I basically change the pattern? And here I'm sharing with you a 4-step model of transformation that you will know exactly. For example, if you do meditation, if you do yoga practice, or you are in therapy, so many times we see that something is being repeated all the time, that something happened to us, and then just decorations are being changed, that maybe different people, or for example, it can happen at our work, that what the feeling I had 15 years ago, 20 years ago with someone else, now I feel exactly the same, but with these people at my new work. And then we say, okay, I realize, I really see that it's the same emotions, the same thoughts. I feel maybe myself very small, afraid. I feel that I have no voice at this moment. How do I change that? So here we're going to study so you know how you can use it in your graphica. So again, you're using creativity to change that. Because again, we are working with our neural connections. Because imagine if we had one pattern and we use it so many times, it looks like already a highway. And of course, our brain, it wants to find the most efficient way because it doesn't want to waste energy, right? So it's using the highway because it's the fastest way, but it doesn't serve us anymore. So using this 4-step of transformation plus neurographical basic algorithm, we learn how I can build now a new road and make myself go there every time. So then this road becomes my highway, the one that I take all the time. And also table of emotion and feelings, because again, working a lot with the student participants of workshops, I can see that we are so easily connected to our thoughts. We can really see, okay, what's happening, what I'm thinking, what's coming to my head. But difficult becomes when it comes to my feelings. Okay, but what do I feel? Because sometimes it can be even more about my body, that okay, I just feel tension, but okay, what is the feeling behind tension? And then here I explain also from my work with the clients how we can split it into 2 3 parts, so then we are not overwhelmed and we know, okay, once I'm angry, what do I need to do? Once I feel that fear is really too much, okay, what should I do with that? So here you have all these details, how to choose a topic, how we work with catharsis. And here it's catharsis is one of my favorite in Neurographica. I do it, I think, most of the time. It's a special algorithm that helps us to, how to say it? It's basically therapy. It's really, if you use it properly after studying it, you know how to use it. It really becomes a therapy because you know how to deal with your emotions, with your thoughts. Okay, and then we have, so once the preparation is done, you know the theory of the method, we go together to algorithms, and then you will have 7 algorithms, which will be enough till end of your life. I hope you will have a very long, happy life, but you will have algorithms for each type. So for example, sometimes today someone mentioned creativity, I don't have ideas. This is algorithm for revealing intentions. Believe me, it works so well that once you feel no interest, you lost your motivation, you went through burnout. Once I had my burnout, I was drawing it so much because it helps to find the joy again, because you feel that nothing motivates you. Really, nothing can get you out from bed. Nothing makes you really glad. So with this algorithm, we learn, okay, how can I get energy? What gives me energy? What is my new way? How I can rebuild contact with myself. So this is this algorithm. Maybe if you give me questions or examples or something that you would like to work with, then I can say precisely about each algorithm. Let me see the messages. Oh yeah, I can imagine it can be frustrating because so many questions if you do it first time, because you see we did 8 steps and there is so much depth behind each step. It's very difficult to squeeze it into what we spent together 1.5 hours, almost 2 hours already. Yeah, so yeah, send me your drawing. If you would like to know these details, then I really recommend joining the course because uh, you can do it in your own time, you can study it, and you have lifetime access because I really would like you to use it on a daily basis. It's it's such a good combination with therapy, or if you do yoga practice. And then we have also one of the most important algorithms for removing judgments. This one, if you catch yourself that you feel there is a lot of critique inside you and that a lot of perfectionism, and that you feel that maybe someone offended you, or you still feel some old pain and you cannot just let it go, that it's keep repeating and it gives you maybe sometimes anger, sometimes hatred, sometimes you feel just frustration that it just doesn't let go, then this algorithm we're using to again to bring ourselves the wholeness, so then the energy, we don't give the energy away but we keep it for ourselves. And the well-being frame I mentioned today, it's again when we look from above on our life and we can see, okay, which parts I can bring together, so then together I can feel satisfied, that I can feel happy in my life. Can you please repeat the last step of today's drawing? Was it making thick line to one of the circles? Okay, I just finished with the explanation and then we're gonna finish. I will go quickly again what we did today, okay? So then you know how you can finish it at home together, okay? Any questions about if you would like to learn the method for yourself? If you have any questions, just let me know because otherwise I can talk another 2 hours. And also, I thought that because it's a lifetime access, and I was picturing that once you have, you know, the method, you can use it for any emotional state, for any of your goals, because it's really good. For example, if you set up a goal and you know, okay, I for a few days or weeks I'm being motivated, I do, and then I start procrastinating, for example, or start sabotaging, then again, you know, okay, which algorithm I use to help myself to go on the track. And then again, also, if I have here entrepreneurs, I think it's very helpful for us because we need to do so many roles in our business, because you need to give the service, also you need to learn marketing or communication, sales, and whatever. And for that, we need to learn, okay, but what steps actually are leading us to our goal, and which steps we do just out of fear or out of anxiety, just to feel that we are doing something to be productive, but they are not leading anywhere. So with algorithms, we can really see the clarity. Okay, which steps for me, they're really working and which are not. And then every time you know, okay, for this situation, I use that. And also one more thing, that today we used A4 paper, so it takes longer. In this course, I'm showing you how to make it in 15 minutes because we also have a special algorithm which called Express. So then you can use it anytime. And also many times when I'm traveling, I just have my short format of my notebook, and you only need a marker because sometimes only lines, it's already enough. Or sometimes I get just take few of my favorite colors and you're just adding the color and it's really enough because we already created the impression. And if you join today, you will get access within 24 hours. And then you can download app so you can reach and you can study with your phone this course also on your laptop, or which one you prefer, but you also have app. And then starting from 1st June, so you have time to, in your tempo, read the theory. And from 1st June till end of June, if you choose the first package, then we have time for certification. Because, for example, if I have here people who are interested for doing workshops later with the method, in your graphic, it works this way that first step is a basic user course, the one I'm offering to you to learn it for yourself. And then you have specialist level. So then you can give workshops also to other people, or you can use it with your clients. So for example, I don't know, if you're a yoga teacher or if you're a coach or psychologist, it's a very nice tool. And once you start with doing it yourself, so you will know yourself, okay, what kind of benefit it gives. And especially if you have clients, or you find yourself that you spend too much time in your head, this is a very good practice because we are coming back to ourselves using our hands and coming back again. What do I feel? What is in my body? What is in my thoughts? What kind of vision I have? And it really helps to also build a connection with your intuition. And just last thing, what I wanted to show is on the website, because I told you that you're going to get a special prices. So if you pay within 48 hours, then you receive 50%, 50 euro. 50% would be wow. I also would like to buy it for 50% discount. It's gonna be 249 euro, and you get a complete course. We're also gonna have our chat group support, because I want you to learn how to do it regularly. Our company is called Take Practice. So it means that every time we are supporting our students to take practice as yoga practice, and also practice to come back to yourself and make yourself really happy. And I really call it, I like when it's called empty, because then you know that you feel so light. There is nothing that is dragging you. You really stop living in the negative emotional states. So if you prefer 249 live access, you have 1 month to complete certification. If you would like to continue in your Graphica, if you say it's only for yourself, you don't even need to do certification. You just do it in your own tempo. You watch the lessons, they stay with you. You have a group chat. You can ask me any question you want. I really like doing live streams together. So then if I see that there are more questions, we can always do again live stream together. And plus we're going to have 2 live group sessions where we're going to draw together, because just to build the habit. So then you're going into the tempo, and then you can see how others are drawing, what their questions. And then by watching also other drawings, we can see okay, what actually else is possible with the drawing, because you will see the difference. You will see such little nuances of each drawing. And if you say that I would like to experience it with someone who is guiding me, you can choose the option course and mentoring. Here you will have 2 my individual sessions. Is free 89. And here again, you have all live access. You have 6 months to complete certification, and also 2 individual sessions, 1.5 hours each, because then I'm going to keep asking you, and what do you feel? And here I see this shape. What does it represent to you? So the purpose of this, that you somehow put my voice inside you, and every time help yourself to become your own psychologist, so you know exactly, okay, where to pay attention to. Or maybe you have a topic that you say that it's difficult for now to watch from the side, that it's still so fresh, that you are being very inside the problem, that it's difficult to go out because there may be a lot of emotions. Then it's a very nice one. And also here you get your supervision. And supervision, it means that I'm recording a video going through each step of your drawing. Again, it's just a recommendation. What I'm giving you, for example, about the lines where the pattern was repeated, and on the course, I can just quickly show you. I think it's a very helpful thing. Here we have a common mistakes in Neurographica. And here, for example, I brought my old drawing, because here I can see absolutely all the common mistakes. You can see a lot of shapes are isolated. There is not enough line. So then I go and I basically use this information how to make your drawings work in a very efficient way. And if you pay in 48 hours, you get straight away access. You will receive email to get into the platform. You can study and you can use it really every day. And maybe what just wanted to experience that, what else it gives you. I think the most important that you have a method for the rest of your life, because as I mentioned today, I tried so many to have both creativity, that they calming me, that I'm getting out of my head, and the most important, that I feel that there is a practical reason behind. Because sometimes if I do something just for pleasure, it is difficult to dedicate so much time, as I know that once I do it, it gives me prosperity in my future. So if you find it also important, this neurographica can provide with this one. And also to build up energy again, find direction. I had one participant of workshop, and she shared with me after the workshop that it really helped her to change her work, that she really took a decision, and within I think 1 week she had interview and she got a new job and she's very satisfied now. But for her it felt very big step. But again, once you put it visually, you gather enough energy, so then you can really make important decisions in your life that they really suit you. And also you quiet your inner critic, because once we do irrational things, and in your graphic I saw we do a lot of irrational things, it makes our inner critic quiet because he is not used to it. He is used to rational things. He knows, okay, 1, 2, 3, this is where he goes. Yes, this is my time. But once we do irrational, he cannot do. And also you learn how to really become separate from him. So you have yourself, and his voice is just a very small part of you. So you gain a lot of control over that, and you learn to change the patterns you already see in yourself, or maybe you just or you see already, or you might find some patterns that if in some topic you feel that you don't have good results what you wanted to have, then we can also explore. And of course you work with your emotional states, and here, as I mentioned, mainly is fear, anger, shame, a feeling that you're not good enough, especially this one is not ready enough, and these things. So that was briefly about the course. Now let me go back to the question. Can you please repeat the last step of today's drawing? Yes, I will repeat the last step, and then we just shortly going to do a quick relaxation practice. And okay, stop sharing so you can see me. Let's go again. So I don't see this question. Oh yeah, here. Was it making thick line to one of the circles? Yes, so after we added the color, then the next step is we are adding the filled line, the thickest line on your drawing. And if you want, you can add few lines if you feel that you need more support. Because actually now if I look, I really feel, oh, here can be one more line to get more energy to my drawing. And then after that, after I added filled line, we are adding the shape of our solution. So we are making it the most visible shape on our drawing. And then you can choose again, which circle is that, for example. Or if you say that I want to have a combination of my 3 circles, then you make big circles over them and you make it the thickest figure. And then after that, what we are doing, we are adding pencils. So basically we are making style of it. We are making it really beautiful the way how we would like to have it. And then we always finish with writing in 2 minutes. We are writing, we call it 20 words. So you write all associations that are coming about your topic that we were working with. So these are the last steps. And now, as I promised, we're just gonna do a few minutes deep relaxation. So if you can, I hope you have enough space. Just place your feet to the ground and try to drop your shoulders. Relax your neck, relax your face. If you can, we can also close your eyes and really feel, if you would feel comfortable without camera, you can turn off the camera so you can really have no distractions, and just start observing your breath. And you don't need to do anything about that. Just simply observe be aware when you inhale, and be aware when you exhale. And with watching your breath, allow your shoulders relax, your face to relax. Also make sure that your belly is fully relaxed. Your belly is soft. And now let's take together very deep breath in. And we can exhale with a deep sigh. And we're going to do it one more time. Deep inhale, breathe in. And exhale with the sound. And you're going to do one more time. Deep inhale. And exhale. Allow yourself to release the tension. Bring yourself into contentment, relaxation. And again, simply become aware of your breath. Just watching when you're inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to take one more deep inhale. And once you have the urge to exhale, close your throat and hold your breath. And once you're holding your breath, again, release any tension in your body. And once you feel the urge, you can slowly exhale, making your lungs fully empty. And then deep inhalation. And then hold your breath. And then breathing out until there is nothing left. And we're going to do one more last one. You're going to take a big inhale. Close your throat, hold your breath. And try to relax your face, your neck, your shoulders. And once you feel the urge, do a fully exhalation. And then allow yourself to come back to breathing normally. And bring awareness to your whole body. Allow with every inhale to bring your attention more inward. With every exhale, allow your body to go into more relaxation. And just for a few minutes, allow yourself to drop into a deeper state of stillness. Harmony and silence. Allow yourself to be free of all doing. And shift fully to feeling and being. Use this moment also to express gratitude to yourself. You spent 2 hours for yourself, building connection, paying attention to your own feelings, to your body. Imagine that this gratitude has a color, and allow yourself to fill your whole body with this color. Try to feel it moving from your feet, coming up through your legs to your belly. to your chest, to your throat, to your face. And then take a big inhale and fully exhale. Make your lungs empty. And slowly, slowly move your body. Open your eyes. Come back to me, to us. I'm really grateful to you that you stayed today so long. I didn't expect it will take us so much time. As I said, I'm gonna open a WhatsApp chat. So if you will have any questions, you would like to share your drawings, I will be happy to see that. And just, I would like to, before I let you go, just a last question. Please share how much from scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel right now? If 10 that you feel happy, calm, satisfied, 1 that you feel like, I just would like to know that every one of you feels okay. Okay, 8, 8, 8. 10, 8. I'm curious, Sam, do we have the only man here, or it's just a shortage of the name? I'm very curious. 7, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, drawing already. Okay, can you please, Madelon, send to my WhatsApp? Because I'm afraid here I cannot save it. Maybe I can. I'm still working on my drawing, so it will be higher once I finish. Okay, then I will let you go. Enjoy your finish of your drawing. If you have any questions, I'm on WhatsApp chat. I wish you a beautiful evening, and who live in Netherlands, enjoy this beautiful, amazing 28 degrees weather. So see you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.